Well, she may not care about that, but some of us do. Alright, it's Epic Tetsu, it's Tower of God New World, and we're going to go over the dev note and some changes, and also a code that is worth 500 suspendium, or as I like to call them, crystals, gems. Also, in your notices, you're going to see that you got 500 for this one. This is a separate 500, and I'm going to show you how to get that if you haven't got it yet. Alright, so we're going to go into our notices, and I'll just go over the information because it may be TLDR, you didn't want to read it, whatever, but you may have missed the code, so we're going to go over that too. So you go into your notices, you go into like update details, you can click on anything, whatever you want, and then we're going to go into here and you can actually do dev notes from inside the game, which is great. And so we're going to go ahead and check out their first dev note. So basically, you know, Tower of God, New World producer Jiang basically just said, hey, we met for first time around July 26, 2 weeks has gone by so fast, etc., etc. And so there's been some service operations and things about, you know, updating the game and keeping it good for all players. So they've been working a lot on that stuff. They have a new chapter, Exciting Vacation is going to be added. That is on the 16th of this month, so in about 6 days. A new chapter called Garden of Clouds will be released. Adventure stages will be expanded, and so that's to help keep up with people who are climbing the tower really quickly. You uber whales out there, thank you for your support of this game. Alright, so there's going to be related content such as ranking board and achievements, boss battle, and more will also be updated. So with the hot season in mind, we have, I may pronounce her name wrong, but Gigi's Dangerous Vacation. And that is the first original story in the Tower of God New World. And so you have the summer story focused on Viola and Gigi, who finally made their first appearance in the game. And then you got Hot, Shibisu, and Yuri. So there's that artwork. That looks very nice. Speaking of which, there's going to be some outfits coming, so let's dive into that here in just a second. So they had that whole vacation story mode and free stage mode thing going on to help with like the current growth level, so they divided it into these stages and whatnot. So you accumulate your points, etc., etc. They're just going over some basic stuff. Let's go ahead and look out some outfits here. Okay, so Hwaryun and Yuri, these look good. Very good. So there's your sneak peek at that. They have a video. I'm not going to play it just to conserve time. You can check that out on their YouTube. Alright. So they talk about how Viola and Gigi as the Webtoon fans, and Viola is SSR Plus teammate, and Gigi is an SSR teammate. Both characters are Red Element, and they can be in a great addition to the Red Element teams with Hwaryun is what they're saying, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully you all pulled her. Viola is supposed to be a rival to assassin characters. Close range assassin, can use blue ore, evade, attack buffs to himself. So, interesting stuff. And Gigi is a support character focused on recovery. So, going to be focusing on supporting single allied teammates by removing debuffs and healing and heal over time effects. So, regeneration with the heal over time effects. So, that'll be important to note. And that'll be immediately through ultimate move skills. So, that's another thing to consider. And they also think that it'll be, they will be able to serve as a counter to flat damage dealers with their blind skill, and have a role to play against critical damage focused dealers with the critical hit immunity. So that'll basically play into PvP and PvE, it looks like. So could be possibly a really, really good unit. And there's some cool stuff there. Alright. So, they plan to continue to update Tower of God New World in 2 weeks intervals, in 2-week intervals, and they are focused on a variety of other teammates that many of you have been looking forward to. Urek Mazino. Dude looks actually pretty badass. Looks like something from a Bleach anime or some kind of anime. Alright, so they say they're focusing less on increasing average gameplay time and more on making sure that they are experiencing new and exciting things on a regular basis. No one likes to be forced to do homework, so that's also true. All you youngins or people who remember school back in the day, nobody likes homework, man. And if you do, you don't want to be forced to do it. It's something you want to do. So that's what they want to make the game. They want to make the game something you want to do, something you want to play. Not like, oh, God, I got to log in. So, there you go. Alright, let's skip a few things. They continue to work on bug fixes. Overall, they're working on a yearly plan and a monthly operational plan for developments. And they're still working to get things up and running, so on and so forth. They are listening to the voices of our regulars, which you can hit them up in the Discord. So that's always good. Make YouTube videos if you make them, like myself, and put your thoughts out there, or also put them in the Discord if you don't make YouTube videos, or even if you do. Alright, let's look at this. This is important. Summon team rates. So we have a top 5. And that is basically the details they investigated of regular so far, and would like to inform you about their top 5 details. So this is what they have chosen as teammates. So this is where you get to pick your SSR unit or whatnot. So Hats 32% came in first, Waryun 15%, Kun 14%, Dorsey 6%, and Rock 6%. Excuse me. So those are the top 5 that people picked. Obviously Hats because he's super powerful, so on and so forth. They go over the summon rates that they've investigated, that these are the total SSR plus pools at these rates, public rates, and you'll see that they are very consistent, and yeah, so pretty cool there. These are the values that are announced in the public rate marks are applied to normal summon and friendship summon, so important to note that. The reuse of multi-deck equipment for Chapter 16 was actually intentional, so there's going to be no separate action for regulars who are using this method to play the game, as it is intentional. So, first deck can be reused with the second deck for Chapter 16 in the multi-deck stages. Let's see. They made some changes to Pitcher Mule Love and Changsu Yeon. Before, the swiftness was increased by 10. This dude's actually really cool. I like him as an archer. And he increases by 10 now while it's maintained. So before, it just gave him a 10 swiftness and he would just go. Now it has to be maintained and the 10 is there, from what I understand. Yeon, let's see, keep distance by 20. Actually, if enemies hit by keep distance, decreases by 20 for 10 seconds. Okay, so they just put a timer on it now. It has a cooldown. So they get a 10-second deal instead of just, I guess, the whole time. Okay, let's get into that code, and that's going to wrap up the video. I'm sorry this is so long, but this is to help you guys out. Also, there's no UR grade. Originally, there was a UR grade existed in the development cycle and whatnot, but it was changed to SSR+, so you can look at SSR+, I guess, as UR. But I wouldn't say that exactly because as a result, the UR grade that regulars have been asking about does not exist. That means in the future, if they wanted to, they could actually make possibly UR units. So we have, everything up to SSR+. UR is currently unavailable, but who knows what the future may hold. Alright, let's go ahead and get into that code, and we'll call it good. So your code is right there. First, dev note, make sure you got the 1, and then everything else capitalized. If you're Android, you can do it in game. iOS, you got to go to the Netmarble site. You're going to get that 500 that I showed you at the beginning of the video. And that's going to do it. Guys, remember to be well, be epic, take care. If you like these videos, let me know. If you want me to keep doing some of these videos, let me know. I'm still waiting for Black Clover, and I'm going to be hitting that. Take care.